Welcome, everybody, and thank you for tuning in live to this special broadcast of Tough Talk Tuesday. Here we got special guest Gary Russell Jr. on the line with us. Gary, how you doing?
How are you? Man, I'm doing pretty good. Trying to stay productive and keep moving forward.
Yeah, I know, hot off the press here, you guys have postponement. I mean, that's got to be hard to deal with. What can you tell me about that?
He got injured in the sport of boxing. You know, when you have two athletes that's pushing themselves to their limit, pushing their bodies to the limit, to prepare for a match, stuff like this happens. It's part of the territory. It's our job to stay focused, stay on this grind as usual. I'm in the gym right now, So, I mean, this is just something we got to deal with. We're pushing, keep moving forward.
Yeah, and it's been postponed until April, correct?
Correct. It's been postponed to April. He injured his back, and I believe that they wanted him to have up to like 2 to 3 weeks to actually rest his back and stuff like that for them to release him to be able to compete. Hopefully he'll be up to par when we come to compete. Of course, anyone who fights want to be at their best when they fight. So hopefully he is. I'm sorry that it happened to him because it's definitely a setback for not just my career but his as well. And hopefully he gives well soon and we can give these fans a great fight.
All right. And last week we spoke to your father. He said you are one of, if not the boxer with the fastest hands in boxing. Would you agree to that?
Most definitely. Most definitely.
He also went
I don't
on,
think that his boxers say it again.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I said I don't see too many boxers out there in today's sport of boxing throwing 5, 6, or 7 punch combinations. This is definitely something that we're doing when we compete, and we're doing it on a championship level. So I definitely agree with that.
He went on to say that your power is something that's very underrated. Would you echo that statement as well?
Yeah, I believe that as well. In the sport of boxing, where my hands are my tools. I injure them. I injured them several times before. I broke my hands before. In the amateurs. And when you put on these 8-ounce gloves, you feel these punches even more, And I had my hand injuries. I couldn't punch with the conviction that I really wanted to in my shot. So we had to make the necessary adjustments. We started using our hand speed. We knew that in the sport of boxing, you don't always have to knock a guy out to get a win. We started using our hand speed, and at the same time preserving my hand. Now I'm to the point where though my hands are feeling good. It's giving these guys a false sense of security. They're eager to walk in and be there for me to sit down and load up on my shot. So I think that the statement was definitely correct and accurate.
All right. With now you being at 100%, what can we expect to see against Escondon?
Oh man. Speed, power, explosiveness, a great deal of ring generalship, great boxing IQ.
Let me go ahead and pass you off to another route of ours, Jules. Jules, whenever you're ready.
All right, thanks, Lucas. Gary, first and foremost, man, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know you being a professional boxer, you got to get it in as much as you can. So much appreciated for your time.
Thank you, man. I definitely appreciate it, man. This is definitely a lifestyle for me.
I could imagine, man. I could imagine. And, one of the things that I spoke to your dad last week, and it was also a pleasure speaking with him. Last 2 wins that you had against, Gonzalez and Highland, you had a nice, impressive KO. And I'm just curious, is that what you're looking to do, going forward, really saying, you know what, I want to take it out of the hands of the judges and just go straight for the knockout?
Ultimately in the sport of boxing, That's the ultimate way to win. To knock your opponent completely unconscious. So that's always somewhat the objective. I feel as though the fact that I had hand injuries before, it made me tend to hold back on my shots a little more than I do now. We've learned how to preserve our hands. We do less wear and tear in our hands, and it gives us the ability to be able to punch harder when we compete. Or punch with the level of conviction that I want to when I compete. And definitely that's something that we're looking to plan or we're planning on doing in the future. If the knockout happens, it happens. But you can get wins in other ways than that. So we better to take it however it comes.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. And I know, once again, I spoke to your dad about Oscar Escandon, very tough fighter. Someone who
Yeah,
really has the will to
yeah.
win. And I'm curious to know really your thoughts as a fighter. I know your dad as a trainer see things differently, but what do you see in terms of any threats that he may pose and how you guys going to handle that?
Well, Escandon, I believe he has the style that will make it difficult for anyone that he competes against. He's a rough, he's a tough, straightforward, pressured fighter. He's definitely a physical fighter, and I think that'll cause a challenge for any one of these guys that's in the upper echelons as a professional. I feel as though the way to beat him, you got to be versatile. A lot of these guys are one dimensional. The only thing that Escandon can bring to the table is to be rough and tough and a straightforward fighter. A lot of these guys don't have options. They're not as versatile. I think our creativity and our versatility in the ring is what's going to offset that.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And one of the things, Gary, I always notice about yourself is that you're one of those guys where you go out, you fight your heart out. And I always said, even with the Lomachenko loss, you still fought your heart out. I know you guys had that strength and conditioning coach, which is definitely something new for you, and really was something that was kind of detrimental to your performance. It was different from what we're usually seeing. Obviously, we got a lot of big names in the division. Santa Cruz and Frampton had a great fight. We know
Yes, they
Lomachenko is still
did.
out there. Yeah, they had a great fight. And one of the things that we really don't hear in that mix is Gary Russell Jr. Are you out to really prove, like, listen, you know what, I'm still here, and do you want one of those big names again? Either Lomachenko or the Frampton and Santa Cruz?
Of course, of course. These are the guys that we're looking at. Escandon, it was a fighter that worked his way up the rankings. He worked his way up the rankings. He fought tough competition, and he won. And he's now my mandatory. He's the mandatory for me to compete against. And I believe that it's definitely fair for me to compete against this guy that worked his way up the rankings to try his best to become a world champion. This is the fight that we're going to take up now. But as soon after, of course, I would love to see Leo Santa Cruz. Abner Mars, he just won the title not too long ago. That's what's
Right,
up.
right.
He definitely won that title. He's a guy that I would definitely wouldn't plan. That I definitely wouldn't mind competing against. I told Abner once before when I beat Johnny that I wouldn't mind giving Abner a chance to be playing in the title as WBC World Champion. Frampton, he's somebody that's definitely on my radar. He's a very, very marketable fighter. Him and Leo Santa Cruz had a hell of a fight both times. And all of these guys are number one. All of these guys are the best in the business in our particular division. So, of course, in order for me to claim the best and be the best, I need to run through all of them. That's definitely my plan.
Of course, Gary. And once again, spoke to your dad last week. Phenomenal interview. And one of the questions I asked him, is basically what did he prefer for you? If he wanted you to clean out division or if he wanted you to move up. And I want to know, what does Gary Russell Jr. want? Do you want to clean out division, or are you just saying, you know what, I did what I had to do with this division, and I'm ready to go up and improve my worth there?
Well, I definitely have room to grow. I come down from maybe 136, 137, to make 126. So I have room to grow to the next weight classes for sure. But I would love to finish up what I started here in the featherweight division. We have very, very marketable guys. We have guys that are great fighters that I would love to compete against. I would love all of those fights that I just named. And before the end of my career is out. I need to fight Lomachenko twice. I don't care whether he loses his next 10 fights or wins his next 10 fights. In that order.
No, that is great to hear. And really, my last question is, once again, Lomachenko fight. I know I would love to see a rematch, and I know that it's definitely something that you want to obviously rectify on your record. If you were to get that rematch again, or when you do get that rematch again, what do you feel you need to do differently to win that match?
And be the Derek Russell Jr. that everyone is used to seeing.
Right.
That's it. That's all. You got a race car that's prepped and ready to run, and someone takes all the oil out of it the day that they have to perform. It's the same car, same engine, same motor, everything, same time. Put a little oil in it. It's going to run fine. It's going to run
Very
fine.
nice. Very nice, Gary. Well, listen, I know I can't wait to see you against Escandon. Can't wait to see those fast hands and that power, and we look forward to your postponement in the future, Gary Russell Jr. Much appreciated for your time.
Yes, man. Thank you so very much. Like I say, it's a lifestyle. I'm disappointed, but I'm still in the gym. This is just what I do. This is something that I love. If I'm not in the gym, if I miss 2-3 days out of the gym, something's wrong with my day. So,
Yeah, I mean,
thank you guys.
It's got to be rough.
Go ahead.
I
I'm
mean,
listening
I
to
know
you.
early in your career you would run into situations, and seems like fighters would back out, and you'd be fighting a lot of TBAs, so to speak. So
Yeah.
to have it happen
Yeah.
again, I mean, that's just got to be heart crushing. Can we expect more activity from you going forward? Like, how many times do you plan on fighting in 2017?
Of course. Definitely. I want to get at least 3 fights in, throughout the year. I would love to get that in. I want to stay active. Once again, it goes to with my health as well. Like I say, I still have hand injuries sometimes. Sometimes after a fight we might compete. And it's just sore. And I feel as though they need the rest. People fail to realize the wear and tear that we actually put on our bodies as athletes to push ourselves to the limit every time. But as long as our hands stay healthy, I'm healthy. I'm definitely planning on competing more often. I definitely want to get through this Escandon fight immediately after. I would love to get a Santa Cruz or an Adler unification title. And we definitely forgot Lee Soulsby. Lee Soulsby, the IBF world champion.
That's right. Yeah.
I would definitely love to compete against Lee Soulsby as well. We're ready to unify these titles and clean out this division before we move up.
We'd definitely love to see it, and we wish you nothing but good luck in your future.
Thank you, man. I greatly appreciate it, guys, man. I'm on to get in here and get on this grind.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on, and we hope you have a good night, and we'll talk to you later.
All right.
Later.
Right.